In this video we're going to go over the basics of setting up and installing and configuring a Fontagent Pro Windows Enterprise server. In this video we're going to show you how to use Windows Server 2012 as listed here. And the first thing we're going to do is actually install the Fontagent Pro server software. Now that's self-explanatory and that goes through a basic installer, so we'll skip that just in the interest of time. Once you've done the installation from the software provided, you will go to the Server Manager dashboard. That can be located here in the lower left. Once you do that, you go to Tools. From there, you go to Services. Within Services, you want to look for the Fontagent Pro services. Here you can see we have two of them, Fontagent Pro Server 5 and Fontagent Pro Preview. Make sure that they're both running. You can right-click these and either start or stop them as needed. Again, right-click to stop or start as needed. Once you determine that both of these are running, you know that your server is running and available for use in the client. Keep in mind that right now all we support is the Macintosh client, but we will soon be releasing a Windows client as well. Now, once we've done that, we want to verify that we have a database installed, or if you're transferring the information from one server to another, such as a Macintosh-based Fontagent Pro server, here's what you would do. You'd go over to the File Explorer, open up File Explorer, local hard drive, and in the local hard drive you're going to have a Libraries folder. In the Libraries folder is going to be the Fontagent Pro server folder, and so keep in mind that it's under the local drive, Library, Fontagent Pro server. Double click on that. Here you'll see this is where the serial key is located to serialize the software, the actual database itself. Now, the database itself, if you need to remove it for any reason to rebuild the database, you can do so by removing it here, and then it will rebuild, when you restart the server again. But that's where the FAP server library is located. And if you're transferring data, that's all you do is just transfer these folders from one to the other and restart the server, and you're ready to go. Now, if you need to know where the Fontagent Pro server files are, program files to actually run the server, they're here under Program Files x86. If I click down to Insider Software, in there I get an Insider Software. Click over in the right pane here, Fontagent Pro Server 5, and here you'll see all the various pieces of Fontagent Pro Server, just so you know where they are. Now, since this is a headless server, in other words, there isn't a environment that I would actually edit the server in, I am going to go to my Macintosh, and I am going to click on my Safari and enter in the server IP address at port 880. And here it shows me that the server has a serial key. It has some libraries in it. Have we created sets? A couple. Do we have any users? Yes, we do. Do we have any reports? So you can actually access the Windows server by going in and entering the IP address in another browser, another machine, and access that information and see all the basic information you might need to use or see. Here is where you'd also add your serial key and set up replication, anything like that. Basic stuff. But that's another way of going in and actually peering into the server because it's headless. So you'd go in through a web browser, say on your Macintosh or other Windows machine, and just log in and check things and add the serial number. And that's the most important part, because once you've actually done the transfer, you want to make sure you take that Macintosh serial number or new serial number if you're not transferring to a Windows server and move that over into the Fontagent Pro web interface into the server itself as soon as you can before it times out. If it times out, then there's a more complicated process in dealing with that, such as removing the database to get rid of the timeout. But we'll talk about that another time. Now, once we've gone through the web interface, then we want to access with a client, so I'm going to go to my Mac and I'm going to access the Windows server now through the Mac. Go to Tools, Connect to Server. The IP address is 125. I'm going to go ahead and connect. It's going to go ahead and connect. And here we have it. This is our Windows server. This shows us what users we have set up. This shows you what libraries, if any, we have set up. Sets. Do we have any groups? Yes, we do. And directory services. So that's all you need to do. The most key thing, of course, is installing the software on your Windows-based computer or server and making sure that the ports are open and available, port 8080, making sure that you have access to the Windows server's IP address, and if you don't, there's a simple way of doing that. If I click on my Windows server here and click on the PowerShell, I can type in ipconfig and it will give me the IP address of the server that Fontagent Pro Server is on. This makes it easy to access. So you may want to do that prior to trying to log in through the web browser on the Mac or another Windows computer to view the information that's in the server. By going through the PowerShell and getting the IP address. That might be one way of solving that problem. But that's all you do. You want to make sure that when you do the transfer that you transfer the library information here, the FAP server. And since it's Java, it's easily accepted. And that's all you really need to know. Other than that, you'll be configuring it from the Macintosh client just like you would if you were working on a Macintosh-based Fontagent Pro Server solution. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's all we have for now. Thank you.